Welcome to our stairs lighting module. In this module, we're going to provide the A, B, C, D, E framework to get the correct lighting integrated for this project. A applications, it's a stairs light and it's being used indoor. So we're going to need a very low brightness light and we're going to need some sort of profile or detail to house or hold the light fixture. So at the A level, it's residential use. It's an indoor application, and that's our two criteria for the stairs. Now we move on to B, brightness. Again, as I mentioned, you don't need a very high output LED. You just need a low glow on each tread of the stairs to give that illumination when walking up. So it's going to be a very low voltage LED. In terms of specific Kelvin color, that's optional. The customer could choose whatever Kelvin they need. I don't see having a high CRI here is important, but whether you have at least 80 CRI, that should be sufficient. So you need at least a small wattage LED or a low lumen output LED. I would roughly say about 100 lumens per foot. In this area, let's talk about control and circuitry. So these stairs are being switched from a wall switch. So we're going to have a main area where the transformer is going to be located, and we're going to have a wire leading back to a switch to turn it on and off. The circuitry part is where this type of lighting detail can get very complicated. The best case scenario is if you have electrical boxes at every stairs put in, so that way you could run any wiring easily for your lighting circuitry design. Now you have to keep into consideration voltage drop in stairs because these treaders are approximately 4 feet wide and you have about 15 of them. So that's over 60 linear feet of LEDs. And we have to use parallel wiring along with series wiring if we want to be efficient in our design. So what I mean series parallel, I mean every 4 feet of could be connected in series and then one main wire heading back to the transformer to that home run. So you're going to pigtail, 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 home run. Pigtail, 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 home run. Pigtail, 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 home run. Now, if you had an LED light source that was able to connect up to 10 meters or 32 feet or longer than that, I wouldn't recommend pigtailing just the 32 feet. I would cut it short just to cater for voltage drop and those other factors. So you need to plan your wiring. In this case, the electrical boxes were pulled to the front and you could see that there's a wire coming out at every treader level. Now, the most important part now, let's go to the design detail. In stairs lighting, you have 3 major lighting design details. You have light on the riser where light detail could be integrated anywhere between here and here. You can have a light source at the treader level where it's underneath here illuminating the stairs, or you can have a combination of both where the light detail is integrated on the treader, up the riser, on the treader, up the riser. There are 3 main types of stairs where details can be integrated. There are concrete stairs, there are tiled stairs, there are wooden stairs, which is the easiest, and there are laminated stairs. And I'll take some time to show you some past jobs of how we integrated and the details involved to integrate lighting into those applications. Another key thing in the design detail is you need collaboration. You're going to have to work with other contractors to ensure that they prepare the surface appropriately. So what's unique about this job and why I chose this job to feature is we have regular wooden stairs with straight treaders, and then to the front we have this curved treader to the front. All the lights are facing downward. Then if we look at this detail, the carpenter, you could see the channel that the joiner created here for us, for our light to get integrated into. All of these details are necessary to get the best case scenario for the best lighting solution. Now, there are LEDs that curve and can bend around corners like this, but what we're going to do, we're going to make some small cuts to create flexibility in this profile, and we're just going to shape it and bend it around the curvature. We're installing the LEDs on that curvature facing forward because if the lights were facing downward, we're going to see a harsh, sharp reflection coming on the tile, and we want to minimize that by placing the light forward. So in this design detail, after they made the cuts into the profile, as you can see, they screwed it in to follow the curvature, and it was a great success. Now, there's one more detail that we have to do. The reflection of light is minimized and you're not going to get the harsh reflection on the floor. But as we cut, we also expose light leaks. And you know how we deal with light leaks? We're going to fill gray silicone in these spots And that's going to mask the light leaks and ensure that we have not just a uniform light on the riser, we're going to have a uniform light on the highly reflective tiles. These are the details that make a project go from good to great. Just a recap of all the things to take into consideration when doing the right stairs lighting design. You want to tone, test, and tag. When you're running these wires in the pre-installation stage, you want to tone your wires to ensure that you pull the correct circuits. You want to test them and you want to tag them. So if you don't have a toner, you could probably put a light and a power supply, because we'd have given you those methods to test your lights. So if you don't have a toner, you can test your lights and then you could tag them. And our final tip is work with your third-party contractor. These type of stairs require a lot of intricate details and it can't be done alone. You need to have a good rapport with whoever is building the stairs, or that all your lighting details that you're going to integrate are going to work seamlessly, not just with the light, but with how the wiring gets to the light. So even though you've toned or you've tested and you've tagged, you want to power up the lights during installation just to ensure that nothing was compromised when you last left it, because you don't know what could happen in between that time. So again, test the lighting installation to make sure it's working and that everything is fine during the installation process. That brings us to the end of our stairs lighting tutorial, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.